So, you guys, I have been on it as far as
Another one of your favorite
the autopsy of the Bernie Sanders campaign. And, you know, Pasta's here for this one. He wasn't here for the last one, but he's here for this one to kind of tame me up, because this is something that Pasta and I, the entire MCSC network, the majority of people that we know here have been talking about since 2016, actually. 2016, we saw Jeff Weaver be a problem. We thought he was not going to be involved in the Sanders campaign. Turns out he was involved as a top advisor, off the record, off the books, but he ended up having Bernie's ear most of the time. So it turns out that Jeff Weaver is behind a consultant-led super PAC called A Future to Believe In. And Robledo actually had broke the story about the woman, Laura Haggard, a few days ago. So I'm just going to go over this because this is kind of scary, because this is just cementing how the Bernie Sanders campaign, I believe, was entirely co-opted at its core by the establishment, right? So former Bernie Sanders treasurer, her name is Laura Haggard. She heads this Future to Believe in PAC. She's the treasurer of the Bernie Sanders campaign. In fact, she also worked as a consultant for Joe Biden and Michael Bloomberg. And she, of course, got her latest job as a treasurer for the Bernie Sanders campaign. This is her firm, Blue Wave Political Partners. And she has been paid thousands of money to work for all of these three people. Now, this is her biography. That's her picture.
Nice picture, fam.
She has 18 years of political experience in election reporting and compliance, along with 22 years of accounting experience for both nonprofit and corporate. There's a few of the people she worked with, Mikey Sherrill, Stephanie Murphy, and several other people, CEOs. But let's look at the numbers here. This is the FEC, and we love FEC here at the Convo Couch.
Open secrets, thank you.
And so there's the Bernie 2020, but you also see Biden, or Mike Bloomberg. You'll see Bernie, Mike Bloomberg, and then you see Biden right down here. So this is all her doing right here.
Jesus Christ,
and the Bernie Sanders campaign, of course, by default, is associated with this woman. And there it is right here, Laura Haggard, partner at Blue Wave Political Partners, LLC. And what does this mean, that this PAC? Well, the PAC basically is a sort of, it can't directly coordinate with the candidate, but they can spend millions of dollars advancing Biden's campaign through this PAC and trashing Trump, because that's the point of the PAC, is to advance Biden's campaign and trash Trump. And Jeff Weaver used A Future to Believe In, which is the Sanders motto from 2016, to make this PAC. Guess what? There was a reporter from the New York Times. He got in contact with Jeff Weaver, and Jeff Weaver said, oh yes, Bernie Sanders is not okay with me making this PAC. But guess what? It's too late, because he made this PAC, but guess who else is making PACs? A lot of the people in the Sanders campaign are making PACs.
So wait a second. So when was this PAC made?
This PAC was made last week.
So it's a brand new PAC.
Brand new PAC. This one is brand new. The one that the woman, the Blue Wave PAC,
yes,
she's had for a while.
Okay.
Yes.
But why does he always have these connections that, I mean, Bernie Sanders, Jeff Weaver, has these connections to Bloomberg. Even for Center for American Progress has connections to Bloomberg.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders has been attached to Bloomberg, like not directly or indirectly, but it's tainted his name, fam.
Absolutely tainted his name. And Jeff Weaver, just so everybody knows, has been with Bernie Sanders since Bernie Sanders first started.
He's such a schmuck.
And what it appears to have happened is that Jeff Weaver has sold out versus Bernie Sanders stayed where he stayed. And he had his ear. I mean, this is something that it's still a bit of a mystery, even to the people closest to Bernie, because Bernie just does not seem like he's a good judge of character. And I don't even want to focus on Bernie right now, because before I focus on Bernie, I need to break down exactly how bad this is, because it goes deeper than that. So the New York Times, of course, confirmed this, because Robledo has spoken about Laura, but then the New York Times confirmed that, yes, Jeff Weaver was behind this PAC. And it gets worse, though, because I did a little thread over here and where I broke it down, and people are probably going to get pissed off. Oh, well,
Really?
What can I do? But here's the thread. And it says, just breaking it down for you guys, Jeff Weaver was behind the PAC. Laura Haggard was a campaign treasurer for Bernie 2020, also worked with Bloomberg and Biden, which is a big no-no. Chuck Rocha, our favorite person, was on Rising yesterday. And this was happening as New York and Ohio removed Bernie Sanders from the ballot. And instead of talking about that, he was talking about his new super PAC, his new little PAC he has called Nuestro PAC. And it's a Latino PAC to get all the Latinos. And, you know, as a Latino, I am actually,
you're aboard, right,
I am so on board with the establishment Latino takeover. But down the line, let's go down the line, because there's been a lot of talk of the California people, right? Jorel Varela, who was a California statewide field director for Bernie 2020, worked with Anthony Rendon, who gutted single payer in California. Louis Myers, the LA field director, created a PAC called 285 PAC, and you can see it right below. There it is, FEC form statement of organization, and this is the 285 PAC, and there is his name right under it, Louis Myers, blah, blah, blah. He's the treasurer. He's the one that created this
Your friend, fam.
He is. He's my friend. And then Laura Haggard, of course, what we said before, she was a consultant, and she was involved in all those people. Okay, there's her LinkedIn. But then there's also this other guy, the California State Director.
My friend.
Your best friend, Rafael Navarre. The guy you tried to warn about the election stuff,
Assholes.
And Jeff Weaver, both of them, on video.
Twice.
He also has a PAC, fam. He also has a PAC. Mi Gente PAC.
Mi Gente.
Mi Gente. This is spelled wrong. It should be G, but okay.
That's not Magente?
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, I want to spend some money to Magente. It's in Arizona.
So there he is, and there he is on Twitter promoting his little PAC, okay? But this is why this is such a big deal, because these connections to the establishment are one thing. These people are all connected to Center for American Progress, to people like Bloomberg, to people like Biden. And now Jeff Weaver is taking all of this and trying to get Bernie supporters and progressives to support him. So let's go down a little bit further, because I want to show you guys something. Louis Myers has a PAC. I don't know if it's up here. Louis Myers, I don't think I put it, but Louis Myers has his PAC where he is sending people a Google Doc form where they can sign up, and it has a picture of Bernie Sanders and the Bernie Sanders logo, and it says, join us, a Bernie alumni, and help us and donate to our super PAC. This is going to help progressives and Latinos and blah, blah, blah.
No.
Louis deactivated his Facebook, by the way.
He's using Bernie's face?
Yeah.
And he deactivated his Facebook?
Yeah, he deactivated his Facebook.
I have questions, fam. So Louis Myers, Rafael Navarre, this Laura woman right over here, Jorel, they all started PACs, right?
Yeah, all of them.
So what are they doing with these PACs exactly? Because I know Bernie Sanders had like a PAC of nurses where you say all PACs are
That's
not
a union.
So bad. It's different, union PACs. How are these PACs nefarious or sinister in certain ways? Like, what are they doing? Where's the money going? Who are they getting it from?
So, like I said earlier, they can basically use these PACs to pay themselves. Because remember, now that the Bernie Sanders campaign is done, why do you think they all started PACs as soon as the campaign's over? Because these are highly paid establishment consultants. Right now, they're not getting paid.
Okay.
Right? So if they can form a 501c3, I believe is what this organization is, they can get people to donate to them under the progressive cause, so then they can continue to make money off the movement without actually doing anything to forward the movement's agenda. And it's completely legal because it's a PAC that's not affiliated with Bernie anymore, but it's using their connections to the Bernie campaign.
Is that money going to Biden's campaign at all?
The money from the Future to Believe in PAC is entirely to go to Biden's campaign.
So where's Louis and Rafael going to funnel their money to? They're not going to take all the money they get in. They're going to pay themselves, but where's the rest of that money going to? To
their Latino trying to take over progressive Latino positions in organizing and government.
They're not progressive, Rafael or Louis, at all. Okay, they're left-leaning establishment neo-progressives at best, and they thank you so much for doing this, fam, because I had no idea that Louis Myers and Rafael Navarre had super PACs.
Well, it's that's what you said, right?
Wow.
They all started them at the same time, and it's precisely because they're no longer working with the Bernie Sanders campaign, so they need a way to make money. And this is the worst thing is, I mean, just starting a PAC right after Bernie Sanders suspends his campaign. And then, of course, Jeff Weber above everybody, because Jeff Weber hired Chuck Rocha back in 2016. Chuck Rocha actually worked in the campaign in 2016.
Yes.
He just was lower level.
He was pushing Bernie to concede quicker than he did. I heard that was the rumblings about Jeff Weaver's, that he was trying to get Bernie to drop out.
He did that
and
again.
Get behind Hillary.
He did that again. That's what.
And he was the one doing it ahead of everybody else last time, when there was a different path. It was a different nomination, different things going on. So
Yep. So this is exactly what it is. And so the ties to Joe Biden are crazy, because now it seems like the establishment is entirely consolidated with Joe Biden. And what happens if Joe Biden picks somebody like Hillary Clinton? All these people are going to be doing this to get Biden and Clinton to win, or Biden and whoever other neoliberal it is. And that's the problem. And this is exactly how they co-opt campaigns. They started a hierarchical system where Weaver hired Rocha hired Rafa, Jarrell, all these other people that are just like him. And they completely took over the Sanders campaign, did it from top down, hierarchical structure. And that's why we had the situation we had, where the grassroots was pushed out. And if you recall, remember the Bernie van. Remember how they said the Bernie van, which was a tool for canvassing grassroots people and their organizations, they couldn't be seen with the Bernie Sanders campaign because it was a conflict of interest, because they were afraid that they were going to be a 501c3 or a 501c4. Now they turn around and actually enact organizations that are exactly that, and use their resources from the Sanders campaign to pull these lists. And it's disgusting. And we're all aware of it. And guess what? Bernie supporters aren't going to follow Bernie that way. They're entirely done with it. It's disgusting, and we need to expose these people, and we will continue to do so.
It seems like those Lewis Myers fam, the Lewis Myers, the Raphael Navars, they would hire only people that were loyalists to them, but people who were truth tellers were not allowed in, or people who would steal their thunders were not allowed.
They didn't want the grassroots to make them look bad. And a lot of people have come back at me and said, Chuck Rocha is the reason Bernie Sanders won the Latino vote.
No way.
No, he's not.
No way.
Bernie Sanders won the Latino vote because Bernie Sanders had the policies on immigration that Latinos really liked. And the
workers,
grassroots organizers, the volunteers, and the field organizers were the ones knocking on doors for Bernie. I'm telling you, because I saw it, especially in this neighborhood alone. Melissa Michelson was knocking doors left and right for Bernie, and they're all Latino. And you would see Bernie signs all up and down the streets around here at Latino homes. Chuck Rocha didn't get Bernie Sanders a Latino vote. If that were the case, Texas, they would have won Texas. The way we won California, in spite of the election fraud, in spite of the bad management, in spite of all of that, we won California. It wasn't because of those people. It was in spite of them. And that's something that is noteworthy even now, even with all the bullshit we had to go through. The fact that we even won is a miracle.
Well, I think we won the Latino vote because of people like Carlos Marroquin. And I'm not going to speak for his treatment, but that's the thing that really made me open my eyes. That didn't just happen here in LA. That happened in Vegas and all these other states and all these other cities where some of the best grassroots organizers were just pushed aside and told to shut the hell up and just do whatever you want to do on your own time, not with the campaign.